Drishti, welcome back to my channel. It's lovely outside and this is the second time I'm recording this video. I started to edit that. It didn't seem like the ideal length, like it should have been shorter. So here I am having my coffee. My nails are matching. I have tried the alt milk, which actually blue tokai folks give you when you ask for vegan milk. So I just wanted to like, will my coffee taste as good as theirs? Actually, it's not that bad. And for the coffee, I use the Sleepy Owl cold brew, and I didn't brew it for 12 hours or 24 hours. I brewed a little less because मैं ना अकेले रहती हूँ, तो ऐसे आवाज़ें जब आती हैं तो I just give it a few seconds to prep myself. But ये हाँ ठीक है. Coming back to where we were. हाँ, तो this is going to be a series of videos on how I'm learning to tackle fear and anxiety. There are people who have a lot of severe cases of anxiety, which is like panic attacks and anxiety attacks. This is probably not for them because they need more professional support. So I am definitely not that person. So this video is for people जिनकी लाइफ में सब कुछ सही चल रहा है, लेकिन तब भी मेड का ना आना उनको बॉदर करता है. Yeah, or like if the cook did not put salt in the recipe, then their entire day is ruined, right? Things that are simple in nature happen every day and they do not go planned, but they still bother you. So those kind of things shouldn't bother you, right? You should have a status quo, a satisfied, a balanced state of yours, and you should have a elasticity. If this event happened, yeah, what can I do about it? There are two things that could happen. Either the situation is in your control or the situation is not in your control. So to understand that, okay, this has happened and what should I do in this scenario, with a calm mind rather than emoting towards it, like responding rather than reacting. So that is the final goal of these videos that I'll be making. So yeah, by no means am I a professional. If you feel like your symptoms are more severe, please try the professional help outside of this channel's domain. Cool. So pehli cheez that I started doing was to understand like fear and anxiety sabko hoti hai, right? So I started doing some research and luckily I found a book in my old stash which was Fear by Osho. I have this right here. Almost finished this. दूसरी बार पढ़ रही हूँ मैं. पहली बार में समझ नहीं आई थी या पता नहीं. I mean I don't know what mindset I was in. So it's fear, understanding and accepting the insecurities of life. What he said in the beginning of the book is that any kind of fear, any kind of insecurity generates from the fear of death, fear of your limited time here. So if say I'm very insecure about the safety of my parents, and that comes from the fact that I have a fear of their limited time on earth. So things like those. Okay, so that he has established. And then the second thing he established is this happens because of your ego. Which is that me or I that we have created after we have come on earth, which makes sense कि ये मेरी identity है, like Drishti Gehlot is my identity now, and इसके limited time होने से मेरे को दिक्कत हो रही है. So yeah, that's ego, right? In the simplest forms. So that's it. Now so the first step would be, how do you tackle your ego? How do you control it, and how firstly you even become aware about it? Okay, so there are 3 things that are for sure going to give you an impact within 1 month, and I gave them 1 month. I tried them for 1 month and I'm coming back only after a month, because I told, if you watch my Instagram stories, you know I told this 1 month back that I will be trying something. So, and then I ghosted you guys. No, I didn't ghost you, I was just testing it myself. And so yeah, I've tested. And 3 things. First, meditation supported by breathworks. तो मेडिटेशन itself बहुत चैलेंजिंग लगता है लोगों को, लाइक टू जस्ट सिट फॉर 5 minutes विदाउट थिंकिंग अबाउट एनीथिंग इज एन एब्सोल्युटली डिफिकल्ट थिंग. तो अगर आप मेडिटेशन नहीं कर सकते तो आप कोई फोकस एक्टिविटी कर लो. वो फोकस एक्टिविटी कुछ भी हो सकती है. टू ओपन अप योर 10th standard textbooks, maths, physics, you start doing your sums, and revise tables. That's such a big focus activity, and the point is mind gets trained and it becomes elastic. If a bad event happened in your life, for a second you are like, oh no, this happened, but then you come back to your normal instead of going and springing around. So like, you have to come back, and the better your control on this activity, the faster you will swing back. And breath work इसलिए क्योंकि a lot of studies have shown that the first thing to go off the toss when you are having anxiety is your breath. Like when I say, for example, stage fright होता है, बहुत लोग को होता है ना. So when I'm about to enter a stage, I know that there are butterflies in my stomach and I cannot breathe properly. So in situation ko, when things are going wrong, to tackle that, you have to practice beforehand and coordinate at the time when you need it. तो या तो इवेंट कंट्रोल कर दो या आउटकम कंट्रोल कर लो. तो इवेंट अगर कंट्रोल नहीं हो सकता, लाइक the boss has said something to you, your manager has said something that he or she shouldn't have said, that's not in your control. The event is you not being able to breathe properly, and then because of which you go in a place where you are in a fight or flight. So the outcomes, the first step is your breath, right? So if you can control that through the practice beforehand, then your fight and flight will not kick in. Again, you will go back to your elastic state. So that is what I tried. So I give around 20 minutes max to the breathing activities. I do some sort of pranayama, but you can choose your own breath work. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the first step. Second step, either fasting or taking a cold shower. तो कुछ भी intense होता है ना, that is outside the luxury of yourself. Your ego breaks by that. When I went for Vipassana, almost everything we had to do on a daily basis by ourselves. We had to wash our own utensils. Of course, there was another fight that was happening in your mind क्योंकि आप बोल नहीं सकते वहाँ पे. But there was no hot water facility inside the bathroom. So, and I went in peak winters, so they had this बड़ा सा ड्रम ऑफ सॉर्ट्स जो बाहर रखा रहता था, एंड इट वॉज अ फ्यू मीटर्स अवे फ्रॉम योर रूम, एंड द रूम ऑल्सो हैड लाइक एन इंक्लाइन टू रीच, good proper incline. So what I used to do was what everybody used to do was fill in those buckets every day and go to your room. A couple of people even washed their clothes, so they were like going with 2 buckets full. Now you know my height. If you know me, I'm like 5. So it was even more difficult for me. But you know what? Instead of being sorry, I became stronger. So whatever kills your ego, whatever discomfort you go through actually kills your ego. If you go with a good mindset, like नहीं तो negative के लिए तो you play the victim card, and then you'll only go into the loop of being a person in distress and play the victim card again. Okay, cold shower, क्योंकि यहाँ तो वो सारी facilities like discomfort में आप on purpose ही डाल सकते हो, बॉडी फिजिकल डिस्कम्फर्ट में. तो ये बहुत ब्रेक करता है, बिकॉज बिफोर यू एंटर द शावर यू हैव दैट वॉइस इन योर हेड दैट no, this is messy, I don't want to put my body into the discomfort, and your mind will tell you 100 different reasons, okay, but the minute you do it, you will have that fact established that you control your mind, and that you are okay even after taking that cold shower, and the mind will again and again start listening to you rather than you listening to the mind. तो जो लोग फर्श पर सोते हैं, बिना एसी के सोते हैं, और ऐसे ऐसे मतलब फिजिकली थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट एनवायरनमेंट में रहते हैं, दैट्स बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, टू ब्रेक देयर ईगो. फास्टिंग इज अ ग्रेट ऑल्टरनेटिव. तो आई फास्ट यूजुअली व्हेन आई एम एट होम विद माई पेरेंट्स, एंड I've tried this 4 times now, and it has amazing effects. Like, there comes a point in the afternoon where you can smell everybody, the food's getting cooked, everybody coming to the table, and you will really want to eat. And your mind will again, the same drill, okay, mind says something, but then later you forget. So it's the same thing, right? When a difficulty comes in your life, how do you treat it? Your mind will tell you a different reason, 100 different reasons to be sorry about your own self, but instead of being that, you do what has to be done and move forward. I mean, emote करके क्या ही कर लोगे? You feel the feelings, do what you have to do and move forward. तो हाँ, ये उसकी practice establish करता है. And the third and final thing is living alone. It's one of the biggest challenges of your life, but it is going to have multifold effect, क्योंकि आपका relationship खुद के साथ is reflected in your relation with everybody else around you. Like, there was a time I did not have a relationship with myself. मतलब वो क्या होता है? खुद के, how do you have a relationship with yourself? Right? It's so stupid. But that's the truth. You have to have a solid relationship with yourself first. So, I mean, अगर आप खुद के साथ टाइम नहीं स्पेंड कर सकते तो कौन आपके साथ टाइम स्पेंड करेगा? तो इसके अलावा भी बहुत चीज़ें कर सकते हो आप. नेचर में जितना टाइम स्पेंड करोगे, नेचर में बिना इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइसेस के जितना टाइम स्पेंड करोगे, यू विल कम बैक टू योर नॉर्मल सेल्फ एंड यू विल रियलाइज हाउ दीज things that somebody didn't complete their work on time, or something went off in your workplace or in your personal life, didn't go as planned. How are these things like so trivial in comparison to this whole landscape? Like, that was the feeling I had when I came from Leh. 5 or 6 days in Leh, and I was just like, yeah, okay, so this campaign didn't go as planned. Big deal. But yeah, eventually you lose it. So you have to have that relationship with nature again and again. Hope some of the things that I mentioned work for you, and I will see you in the next. Cheers.